we reach a point where today we invented an intelligence more intelligent than us. And this is very scary a little bit, because we cannot really predict where this is going. We cannot really predict what is the beginning stick.
يعني أنت ممكن تتخيل إن الانجينير سوفت وير انجينير in that country راتبه في الشهر لا يتجاوز $50. Can you imagine?
I can compare myself and benchmark myself as a tech resource. I can see people in the US getting $250,000, $500,000 salary a year. Why am I not getting that? Every process that we have today is a list of agents. We reach that level where you cannot really make the difference between what's AI and what's human.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته أعزائي المشاهدين والمستمعين، حلقة جديدة من Hafizknows بودكاست. ضيف اليوم شخصية أوصفها في جملتين أو في كلمتين: شخصية ذكية وصاحب رؤية. راح أترك لك المجال تعرف عن نفسك، وراح أسألك سؤال التعريف مرتين. فالمرة الأولى Welcome Zakaria. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Hafiz. So I'll give you the LinkedIn introduction. So I'm Zakaria Thabti. I'm a researcher in the field of artificial intelligence, and I'm also the CEO of Voland Ventures. Voland Ventures is a venture studio based in Dubai, but deeply rooted in Africa. We aim, or our mission is to promote the African talent, because as you know, Africa is a very young continent, and it's a continent that is moving, and it's a continent that has everything to win. And you're going to see a lot of passion and a lot of hunger for success in there. So we chose those talents as ambassador for technology worldwide, and we want to help them export the technology and show the world what they can really do.
Lovely. أنت شوية تغششت لأن الاستوديو شوية ساعدك في الموضوع، لكن التعريف الثاني أريدك تعرف نفسك بالشيء اللي تحس إنه مهم بالنسبة لك. So something that is significant to you. Introduce yourself based on how you see yourself according to that.
I would say the main description that I like to give to myself is the big brother of African youth. And it's a very important topic for me. I want to see them shine globally. I want to give them the opportunity to really show the world what they are capable of. And as a big brother, I have two missions. First, make their voice go globally. And second, give them that sentiment and feeling of security and safety, and that they are really capable of building amazing things.
What I'm sensing and لحس إن من التعريفين إن أعطيت أنت الجانب let's say الفورمال، بعدين أعطيت الجانب الميشن، يعني أنت الفيجن أو الميشن الرؤية. طيب the big brother of Africa، شو الشباب في أفريقيا حسيت إنه يفتقدونه وتريد let's say to tell them، يعني تكلمهم إنه everything is fine, you got this.
Okay. To be honest, the African youth, and I'm going to say it, I've lived it because I've been a tech guy my whole life, and I've been obliged to make that switch to the business side of things and the entrepreneurial side of things. And as tech guys, we have been a bit, I would say, exploited and overused, and not really getting the credit for the work we do. And today I want them to really live to that level of their true worth. Now you have access to internet, so we can see globally. Okay, I can compare myself and benchmark myself as a tech resource on a global stage. I can see people in the US getting $250,000, $500,000 salary a year. Why am I not getting that? And then I see that, okay, I can build stuff. I can have a vision. I can innovate. And for that, I need to find partners that I can trust, and partners that would embrace the global vision and give me, I would say, the resources and the space to innovate and the space to shine and rise on a global level.
Okay. So again اللي أنا ألاحظه إنه زي ما ذكرت إن فعلا الشباب الأفريقي في they are grossly underrated when it comes to one, and underappreciated as well when it comes to التك talent.
Yes.
والاشياء اللي ممكن ينتجونها في التقنيه. وانا شخصيا عندي تجربه راح احكيها كمان شوي. بس اريدك تخصص مثلا في 3 نقاط، تلخص في 3 نقاط او 3 اهم اشياء موجوده في الشباب الافريقي غير معروفه للعالم، او خلينا نقول غير معروفه للشرق الاوسط.
Okay. First thing is that I'm going to give the example of Morocco, because Morocco today is positioning itself as a leader in Africa and is trying to build an infrastructure for the African. As you know, Morocco is the door to Europe. Morocco has a global reach. Morocco is the very best friend of the UAE, for example. So you're going to see a lot of projects from the UAE coming to Morocco. A lot of partnerships have been signed between the UAE and Morocco last year. So we need this kind of partnership with forward-thinking kind of countries, and we need to build alliances.
Okay.
And Morocco today understood that. And in order to provide that world with this kind of talent, you need to change the model. So today, for example, Morocco has built the infrastructure. So we have very fast speed internet, pretty cheap. We have offices everywhere. And even in terms of culture, we don't need to go to co-working spaces. You just go to the local cafe in your area. You pay 10 dirhams, which is $1, and you can stay the whole day and work. And when you go to cafes in Morocco, you're going to see a lot. It's like a mini ecosystem that has built naturally, because the global vision of the country and the global vision of the continent is to foster those talents. Second aspect is education. And education is one of the maybe topics that didn't change since we invented education. It's always about memory. It's always about learning by heart things. But now in the era of AI, we can see that this model is not really working. And the model of teacher student is not really working anymore, because you see things are moving, and in order to move forward, even those professors need to move. So that's why they call them researchers. They need to keep up to date. You cannot just teach me technology that came in 20, 30 years ago. It's obsolete right now. So in Morocco, you're going to see a school like 1337, which is a peer-to-peer school. So most of my team is based on that. Most of them are from there. So they know how to work together. They have great passion. They know their value, and they are being taught to be really accessible to the market and directly go and start being productive. I don't need to start to learn for 5 years everything that there is to learn just to go and not be able to build solutions. So you see, for example, in the old model, you get someone with a master's or engineering degree, it's going to take him 2-3 years to adapt to the company culture. It's going to take him 2-3 years to be actually productive. Those guys, they're productive from day one. From the internship, they can produce solutions. And this is really interesting. And they know how to work together, because it's about teamwork.
Okay.
And the third aspect is the drive. They want to succeed so bad. And they know they can do it. They know they can build international solutions from Morocco, from Africa. And this drive is like, when I see the hunger, when I see the passion, when I see the way they want to work and the way they want to just explode and go worldwide, they just need the guidance. And that's why I say I like to be the big brother of those guys, because I've been a bit internationally. I know the market. I've built, alhamdulillah, trust with a lot of customers and partners. So I have the ability to promote the talents and to promote the solutions that those talents build.
Amazing. I'm going to ask you to summarize it again and think of this as a real video, like, so 3 things that you see in the African youth that people, the audience from the globally, they don't know it. 3 things. 1, 2, 3.
First, passion and drive. And finally, the understanding of their true worth. Second is a new model based on teamwork and peer-to-peer. And this is very important. It's very good to be a star player. It's very good to be a Messi. But a Messi in Barcelona is not Messi in Miami. So you got to see, and this is important for also the visionary and maybe the CEOs to build this culture of creating an orchestra. So you define the symphony. and you need to give each one a solo. So, okay, do your guitar, do your violin, do that. But with that, you make sure that everyone is getting credit for their work and they adhere to the global vision. And the third aspect is the new model of teaching that is growing in Africa and the infrastructure for that.
اوكي. راح اقول لك نفس او الاشياء اللي احنا لاحظناها في الشباب الافريقي والتجربه بتاعتنا. فنحن استثمرنا في فينتشر ستوديو كمان في دوله يعني زي ما بيقولوا cost of opportunity is very low. فهذه واحده من الاشياء اغلب المستثمرين او اغلب الجمهور في العالم او في الشرق الاوسط لسه ما استدركوها. انه انا ممكن with $10,000 فعلا open venture studio. طيب عشان نبسط كمان شو الفنتشر ستوديو، هو سبيس تمام تقدر تجيب فيها مهندسين to innovate يخترعوا to يبتكروا في softwares basic majorly software solutions لمشاكل موجودة for whatever entity it is. تمام. يعني انت ممكن تتخيل ان الانجينير سوفت وير انجينير in that country راتبه في الشهر لا يتجاوز $50. can you imagine
في الشهر؟
في الشهر.
واو.
yes. فعشان كده بقول لك ان اغلب الجمهور سواء في العالم او في الشرق الاوسط او حتى في الامارات او في الخليج، في بعض الدول الافريقيه عندهم البنيه التحتيه، عندهم زي ما قلت الحين نظام التعليم متغير وعندهم الدرايف. so these are the major three things.
yes.
infrastructure, drive و education system model change. تمام. فمستعدين let's say the leadership there مستعدين ان هم يساعدوا الشباب او يساعدوا او يستقطبوا مستثمرين لحتى to do this, you know. with $10,000 انت ممكن تفتح الفنتشر ستوديو. you can dump all your entity problems into these guys and you will find a solution very cheap. فاغلب الاشياء اللي ما بيشوفوها الناس او المستثمرين او اصحاب الاعمال من حول العالم او من منطقه الشرق الاوسط ان cost of opportunity جدا بسيط. جدا بسيط، بس لأن في صورة ذهنية عن القارة الأفريقية إن مشاكل، إن ما في كذا، ما معناته إنه مو موجودة هالأشياء موجودة وفي كل مكان
طبعا.
بس أنت you need to find a way إنه أو to find the contacts or networks إنه you can solicit such opportunities without hassles, let's say, or without problems. I want you to explain also to me, what do you vision, or to the audience also, you wanted to explain to the audience, and myself included, what's the vision of the AI in the next 5 to 10 years, in your perspective?
Wow, that's a very interesting question, and I believe we reach a point in humanity where, like, you know, the Moore's law. Morse is the founder of Intel, and they say that every 18 months we can double the number of transistors that we could put in a chip. And this rule has been going for over 60 years. And then suddenly it stopped working. Suddenly, like, now we see NVIDIA producing and cooking things that are amazing, and they put like microprocessors that can process millions and millions of operations per second. And we reach a point where today we invented an intelligence more intelligent than us. And this is very scary a little bit, because we cannot really predict where this is going. We cannot really predict what is the beginning stick. So every week you're going to see new technologies coming. Every week you're going to see new innovation. But the beauty here and the opportunity and why it's huge is because if you see, for example, if you compare Coca-Cola with the refrigerator, the inventor of the refrigerator didn't make as much money as Coca-Cola, because he built the infrastructure, but Coca-Cola built the product that is so So maybe you're gonna see companies making more than OpenAI, more than other service provider, because they're gonna build product based on that. They don't need to run the infrastructure. They don't need to manage all that. They just need to solve the problem. And this is the most important thing in a startup. You gotta find a problem to solve. And today, when you see a lot of startups with a solution that doesn't solve any problem, this is, for me, I feel very sad, because if you see, for example, in 2022, Apple removed from the App Store over 500,000 apps. Think of it. I know how much it takes to build an app. It's a big investment in terms of time. It's a big investment in terms of energy, and also in terms of hope. So that's 500,000, at least, people that has their dreams go like this, because they just woke up one day and say, okay, I have a revelation. I want to build this product, but they didn't really think of the problem statement. So the first thing you need to do as an entrepreneur is to define exactly which problem are you solving. Can that problem be monetized? Is it enough of a big pain for the customer to pay for it? And once you define the problem statement, you can start building product.
Yes.
And
I want you to come back a bit more to the vision of the AI, because now we are deviation. That will take another question. So
okay.
Come back to the where we see the AI's development or revolution in the next 5 to 10 years.
Simply agentification of the process. Like, this is the simple answer.
Okay.
Every process that
Break
we
it
have,
down.
every process that we have today
Yeah.
is a list of agents. If I want to, let's think of the basic. I have a salespeople. They have access to a CRM. The task that they have to do every day is to go call, make the calls, get the report, enter it in the CRM, then get the reporting and everything. Every step of this process could be agentified. So if you see, for example, 11 Labs just announced Flash 2.5, which you can create conversational agent that seems so natural that even the Turing test cannot detect it. And the Turing test is obsolete in today's era, because we're way far, like, we reached that level where you cannot really make the difference between what's AI and what's human.
Yeah.
So this is the first agent. Then I can analyze that call. I can analyze the sentiment of the customer. I can analyze if this call led to somewhere, and the AI will keep learning and will keep getting better and adapting to the customer based on the customer base that I have.
Interesting.
Then I can enter all this automatically into the CRM. I can get the reports in. I can have a chatbot to chat with my data and ask questions. Okay, what do you predict would be my sales in this year based on the previous data? Okay. And even now, like, if you go to ChatGPT and like I've seen some interesting questions, like, what can you tell me that I don't know about myself based on the history of our chat? And this is an interesting question, because if you use ChatGPT every day, he knows you very well. So you can have this kind of questions. And I wouldn't be surprised, for example, if Facebook or WhatsApp tomorrow comes with an option to create your own agent based on you, because we had Facebook, we had WhatsApp for years. They know us really well.
Okay.
So you can create that agent for multiple reasons. You can talk to yourself. Like, sometimes I miss the person I was when I was 18. I can talk to that person. I can chat with it. I can tell that person about my dream. But it gives you an edge of comparison based on who you are and where you're headed.
Okay.
And the agentification of every process in every business, because a lot of processes are so fastidious, and the process of what we call in IT crude, so create, read, update, and delete, which is the way we communicate with databases, is a bit obsolete. We don't want long forms. We don't want to enter. We want a new way of innovation, a new way of doing business.
Okay, so that's where the AI revolution is heading. Now, you mentioned a very good point, which is the people who invented, or the Coca-Cola, they made more money than the refrigerator.
Yes.
So, and for the mere reason that this guy, when he created this solution, he didn't think of the product, he just thought of the infrastructure, which is, again, it's something that revolutionary, that led the humanity one step forward. Now, with the AI, you mentioned also one solution, where is the agentifying of all the processes, the hideous processes or the hideous procedures that can be done in 10 minutes or 5 minutes instead of 2 days. The other day you mentioned another example to me that I want you to bring it live to the audience, so they can kind of understand the magnitude and the significance of the AI solutions. And I will say in the retail business, how they can do the face recognition and then they can match. So I just want you to give a user journey, and from 2 point of views. So from the point of view of the user, the customer, and the point of view of the merchant, let's say.
Okay. So first of all, I want to really say that we can build AI solutions that do facial, I wouldn't call it facial recognition, I would call it facial detection, because we don't really care about who the person is. We just want to get enough data to support the workflow and support the customer journey. And it matters to people because it's physical store. So they say, I don't want my pictures taken. But when you go online, they pretty much know everything about you. That's why you have a better experience on Amazon, Noon, or any e-commerce store, because they know you really well. So we want to bring that experience to the physical store, because the problem is that they lack in a lot of data. And because they lack in a lot of data, it's very hard to innovate, and it's very hard to provide you with a better customer experience. So the experience is going to be as simple as that. You walk into a store, there's a camera that detects your age, gender, ethnicity, emotion, history of purchases, if you are a regular customer or no, and they directly send all the information to the sales guy in the store. They receive it in the smartwatch, they have a look, okay, and they get recommendation of products you would be interested in. So this is the same experience you have online. You might be also interested in this or that.
Okay.
Also, in terms of lead distribution, so based on your ethnicity, you're gonna be directed to the person that would be more suitable to talk to, especially in a melting pot like Dubai. You would prefer people from the same ethnicity because they know the culture and they know what suits you because they are from that culture. After that, we want to analyze the customer journey on the store. Where do people stop? What is the dwelling time? What is the interaction they have with the product? And there's an interesting part, because for the sales guy, we equip them with everything that they need. So it's a hybrid approach that has a human in the center, but you give them enough technology to be able to innovate. So they also have smart glasses, AR glasses, where they can just look at the product. It's connected to the inventory, and they know if I have that product in that store, instead of going running and coming back and say don't have it. So it creates a bit of frustration.
Okay. So also, the AR glass will be handed to the customer?
It can be handed to the customer, but like the vision is to keep the sales guy at the center. We don't want to remove them. We want a hybrid approach, because especially when it comes to sales, it needs a human touch. So we want to empower those people with solutions that would help them to give a better experience to the customer.
Okay.
Also in terms of product positioning. So sometimes you're going to miss a product you would like just because you didn't go to the area of the store that has that product. So smart merchandising is very important. And based on all those data, you create a whole customer journey that would be fitted for you. There's also smart with AR, you can see how the product will look on you without having to change. So all this improves the customer experience, and all this puts the customer at the center. And it's very important, specifically for physical stores, to embrace technology and go with the flow, because it's been a bit outdated and they need new processes.
And how does it, like, how important it is for a merchant point of view? So if today I have 2, 3, 4 stores in malls, whatever, tell me, like, in, I don't know, 2, 3 points that, all right, when you implement such solution, from experience, this would improve this much, this would improve this much, this would improve this much. I don't know how this, whatever the customer journey will be faster, shorter, more profitable, the checkout.
There are multiple aspects. First one, smart merchandising is very important, because, in merchandising, they call it cannibal product. So you have a very nice product. If you put it next to the product that could be the next bestseller, it would just kill it. So you need to you put your products in a way that will give the customer the ability to see and enjoy every product differently. So the smart merchandising is very important. Second aspect is when you reduce the time the customer spends in the store, we want them to get the best user experience possible. So they come in, they buy, because that's the main goal. Like we can shop. We like to shop. We like to walk, but at the same time, I like to get my product directly. So if I have it right in front of me, that's why advertising work good on social media, because they give you exactly what you need to see right in front of you, and we want to give the same experience. And third part is customer retention. So if the customer keeps walking to you and you know your customer really well, you're going to be able to offer him an experience that would always bring him back to you, and you create this relationship with the customer, and you create this loyalty, and you know your customer better, because before you didn't really know. And I will add a fourth point, which is related to production, because now, based on the visitors that come to the store and the conversion rate and all this information, I know how much I should produce. I know, like, for example, how many customers came to me, I didn't find the right size. So I know exactly how much to produce in L, XL, double XL. So I become more aware of the whole logistics cycle from production to the end retail store.
Okay. And I think also it will add a lot of effectiveness when it comes to the buying process, even for the merchandise themselves, you know. So you get so much data about every single part of the process. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist now. There is already so many things that will help you to do that. But when the AI is implemented, like, everything gonna be done faster, more accurate, and more efficient.
Yes.
Okay. We jump back to the first introduction. So your venture studio, based on Dubai, deeply rooted in Africa.
Yes.
I want you to address two audiences here. So first audience is the investors. If you want to address them in terms of what you guys can do for them, in terms of solutions, in terms of vision, in terms of operation, that's one side. And then addressing the talents, or the talent pool, or the possible talent pool that you want to, let's say, inspire and be the big brother for them.
Okay. So for the investors, it's very important to be aware that today choosing a young continent, it's not a choice anymore. It would become a necessity, because we live in an era of AI, and a product that is built last month could be obsolete this month. So you need the agility, and you need the youth, and you need the energy to be able to not have rigid processes, but really adapt to it, and just give them the guidance, just give them the framework where they should work, and they would be able to provide you with marvelous solution. I'm very impressed with the way they build. I'm very impressed with how amazing a solution could be, built in Morocco and built in Africa, and the cost is pretty acceptable. I would call it. I wouldn't call it cheap, but I would call it very reasonable for trusting those talents. For the talent, and I will get
before
yes.
we go to the talent.
Yes.
I wanted to mention where your solution being, let's say, produced for. Let's say I know that you've done a lot of innovations and solutions for the region in the UAE, for clients and your clients in the UAE. But I want to also to address again to the investors, where this solution been implemented in your career, like where the solutions that you guys developed being used. Not necessarily to mention the name, but just the areas.
Okay, areas. It's spread throughout multiple sectors. There's retail, obviously, as we just discussed. We have fintech, which is very important. As you can see, Africa, I believe here in the UAE, and we're gonna get back to it later. That's one of the questions I wanna ask you later. But here, maybe in UAE, we talk about financial intelligence, but in Africa, we're gonna talk about financial awareness. So the catalog of products that could be built and the financial inclusion product that could be built in Africa are amazing, because you have literacy rates which is still a bit low. That these are things that are changing, and they're going to change eventually. But you need to build that financial awareness, because the financial awareness is a foundation for any innovation. And we have health, and health is a very important sector as well. And as you can see, you're gonna see some, like, I'm impressed by the mix of business and talent and technicality in Morocco. So you see a lot of doctors come in to innovators and asking them, okay, can we do this? And I've seen some startups in Morocco that are really, really impressive and that solves real problem and that will advance the health in multiple sectors. So the green energy is very important. I heard some amazing initiatives here in the UAE about the optimization of energy and using AI, and this is something that could be huge. But most importantly is that a tech guy cannot survive without a business mind. It's very important to create the synergy. And the main goal for the investors, okay, is to find the right talent. First, you need to define which sport you want to play. You cannot go to a continent, play with a lot of football players and create a basketball team. Okay. You need to go exactly for what the talent have and nurture that.
Okay.
And once you find the talents, you gotta give them the guidance. You gotta give them the problem statement to solve, and you're gonna be impressed by the way they solve it.
So back to the area. So you have the retail, fintech, health. What else you can add to the list? Manufacturing.
Manufacturing, like we've done some solution for optimization of processes, and this is very, like, I love optimization processes. I love heuristics problems. I'm a bit of a geek in that area. And it's very important to optimize the whole chain of logistic. And sometimes you can go to a very specific use case, or you can optimize the whole process.
And last message addressing the youth.
Don't get fooled by social media. Making money is very hard. Succeeding is very hard. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work. Take the time to build trust with your partners, because this is very important. Don't just expect, like as they say, you work years for overnight success. Don't expect just to be a millionaire like this. Don't get fooled. Take the time to show people what you're truly capable of, build the trust with the customer, and keep believing, keep dreaming. This is our era, this is our time.
Lovely. Zakaria, pleasure having you.
My pleasure.
And now we're going to switch roles.
Thank you.
So how we're going to do it is we just